Hello everyone, I'm here today with another process video. I'm working on my mini book from Chicago. This is all 4x6 layouts. And for the left hand side today, I have two photos from writing the L. I definitely want to use those because my daughter has done it before, but on a very limited basis. So this was the first time we were kind of taking the train like everywhere. It was train or walking. However, I printed these together on a template from Project Life, and they come out as a 4x6, which is great for printing. Sorry about my cat, but not so great for the layouts because they're too big. It would cover the entire page, and that's not what I want for this particular layout. So I'm also going to trim along the edge here to make them fit a little bit better width-wise. And then I have to trim top and bottom too, because I want some white to be able to show through. And then here's the other thing. I have this new washi that I got that's meant to look like a city map with geotags and stuff, and it's so freaking cool. And the colors actually match with this, but it's so busy. I want to be able to use it, but I'm not sure it's going to work. I'd have to really cut these down, maybe have like a strip of colored paper or something in between and then overlap this. I'm not quite sure exactly how that's going to work, but I want to try to use it if I can. So I have that. The other thing I have at the ready is from this set of Chicago stamps. I actually have one that says Ride the L. So I want to use that somewhere, maybe even on the photo itself, because how perfect is that? I have trimmed the photos quite a bit, as you can see here. Obviously I did the width so they would fit, but then I also did top to bottom here, and I actually cut off quite a chunk from that top one because there was just stuff there that I really didn't need, frankly. So I have those. I think I am going to do a thin strip of green paper in between them just to break them up a bit, because when I had them right up next to each other, they do kind of blend in, and I don't want that. This piece of green cardstock is perfect. It's already cut to 4 inches one way, so I just have to cut however wide I want it here. That's probably good. Right there, I think. So now I have that cut. I can add that in between the photos, and that's pretty simple. I have added the green strip there, but the problem is when I was thinking about stamping that one that said writing the L on there, I don't think it's going to work. I think this background is too busy even if I stamp it in black. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find a larger label, stamp it on the label, and then put it over the photos. But I can still use the washi at the bottom. All right, I have that put together. You can see the washi there, and I forgot, this washi came with this set of stuff from Paper Person. This all came together here, and I decided, okay, if I'm going to try to make it match, let's pull out that stuff. So I have that. I didn't like anything here, but on here, I decided I'm going to use this light blue one, I think. There is some light blue here, and it helps bring in some color if I use it. I can also kind of cover up this a little bit, which I don't care about if it's there. So actually, let's do that. And then it overlaps both photos. Does it work? Yep. Actually, I might go a little bit more that way, just a smidge. Yeah, that covers that up nicely. I mean, it is going to be busy, but I'm okay with that. I think I'm also going to see if I can find something in this lighter blue to put down here, because I have a lot of the black and green, but not so much of the blue. So I will work on finding that. And then I'm still not sure about doing the writing the L thing. I liked the idea of the label, but now with this there, maybe I can stamp right on there. I'm not sure, or maybe I can find a label that's the lighter blue and do that on there. I have options, so I'll just see what I see. I found this label in my stash of just blank labels that I always have on hand, and I think I'm going to use it. I already checked, and this stamp about the L will fit on there. It's a little bit too tall though, so I think I might stamp it with a little overlapping into the slash marks there and then trim the top off, but we'll see. I'll stamp it and then decide how I feel about it. There we go with that all stamped on there. I do think I'm going to trim it down. I'm going to cut it right where the indent is, I think, because I like it without all that dead space up top. It looks weird and it takes up more space. So I think cutting it is just fine. All right, I cut that down and I actually like how it has little notches out of the top there. That's kind of cool. And then, if I can pick it up here, I still have this chunk left that I can use for something else. I decided to put a mini staple in there at the bottom just for looks, and I didn't put it all the way through so that it doesn't damage the other page, but it's there, and then these two pieces kind of match. And so that's all I'm going to do with this one because it's super busy as it is. So now I can move on to the second page. For the other page, since this one is so busy, I think I want to just ground this one with more of a background, but I don't think I want to cover the entire background. I think what I want to do is maybe find a subtle pattern of or background paper with a subtle pattern and maybe fill where these lines are, like between there, and then put the photo on top. So I'm going to go into my scraps and see what I can find. I found this paper in my stash and I figured it might be a good color match, and I do love those together, that this is a little lighter, this is a little darker. That's totally cool. And then this one, I figured I want some extra showing top and bottom. So I know this photo is 3 inches. I went 3.5. Do I like that? I think I do. And then that would be the background that you would see, and it would still leave plenty of room for stamping up here, putting embellishments on, I mean, whatever I want to do. So I think I do like this one. I'm going to cut this down to make sure it'll fit widthwise, and then I'm good to go. So I pulled out these sheets of cut aparts that came with the mini book kit, and I feel like this color is a pretty perfect match for what I have in the background. I didn't plan it, happy accident, and I'll take it. But then also this gray. So there are several things here that come in those colors. I think I'm going to use a combination of those in some form to embellish the rest of the page. So I cut out that gray item, I'm going to use that, and then I think I'm going to use this stamp right here that says location and stamp that on there. And who are these from? This set is called Wander from Carrie Bradford Studio. All right, so I have that stamped and attached, and now I think down here I'm going to use this same set, but I'm going to use the one that says change of scenery, because once you're in here, it's very sort of anti-city. You are in a garden, you sort of forget where you are, that you're in the heart of this huge metropolis. So I think I'm going to take that and stamp it right down here in that right-hand space. All right, luckily that stamping came out very well, pretty clean edges there. So maybe I'm getting better or just have more patience or something, I don't know. But I like it so far, but it feels flat. Because it's a garden and a conservatory, I know I have little like die cut flowers and stuff somewhere. So I'm gonna go on the hunt for those, and maybe I can include those as well. All right, I found 4 options in all of my floral die cut things that I think might work here. They have a similar color scheme, and so it's just a matter of like, what accent colors do I want? These are more pink. There's a very bright orange here, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. And then this has a tiny bit of pink. So I have a feeling it's going to be pink. This, I should just say that. You know what? Let's just eliminate that one since it's orange. But I have to figure out, like, do I want to just use these two, layer them somehow? I don't know. I definitely like that one at the bottom like that. So I'm just going to adhere that one now, since I know I like it. And it can kind of wrap a little bit around that stamping, which is great. Adds a nice little pop of color there. Then I just have to figure out which one of these, or both, am I going to try to layer up top. All right, I came up with a little something different than I had planned. I still use this big one, but I tore this off a different piece, and it's just cardstock. And I'm going to tuck that under because it brings in that black and white, and I like that. So I'm going to ruminate on it just for a second, make sure that's the placement I like, but hopefully I'll stick with it. All right, I did attach those pretty much the way I had them, And I'm happy with the way that looks. It definitely feels a little more subtle and more grounded than this one. This is super, super busy, but I think it shows a nice juxtaposition that we were in the heart of the city where things are kind of crazy and busy at all times. And then we're over here where it's a little bit quieter and more relaxed and more in touch with nature. So there are 2 more pages done in my mini book. Thanks for watching.